right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Lakeport City Council for Tuesday, July 21st, 2015. We are back from our closed session item, and we have no reportable action from that item. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Parlett?
Here.
Councilmember Stillman?
Here.
Councilmember Mattina? Here. Councilmember Turner? Here. And Mayor Shield?
Here. And Mr. Dennis Rollins, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Please stand. Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dennis. Do we have any urgency items this evening? All right, seeing none, we have acceptance of the agenda. Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you wishing to speak publicly on any of our items that are on the agenda tonight, you may do so when we are actually taking that item up. I will ask for public comment. For those of you that wish to speak during our public comment on any item that is not on the agenda, that is within the jurisdiction of the Lakeport City Council, you may do so during open public comment. You may speak for 3 minutes. We do ask that you fill out the white public comment form and hand it to our clerk. And please understand that the council can take no action or come to a consensus on any item that's not posted on tonight's agenda. Our consent agenda this evening is 3 items. It is our ordinances, which we'll be waiving except reading by title, the minutes from the regular City Council meeting of July 7th, 2015, and a rejection of claim for remote of Irene Lopez. Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment or address any one of these 3 items on the consent agenda? All right, seeing that, I'll bring it back to council for action.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as posted.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, at this time, do we have any citizen input? All right, seeing none, we will move on to our public presentations. And item B on the agenda is introduction of new employees.
Mr. Mayor, I am going to, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, I'm going to allow each department head to introduce their staff from their department. So everyone should go first. That's got the biggest group.
I'm here by default, by the way.
Hey, Doug, pull that microphone towards you there, too.
Okay, how's that?
Excellent.
Mayor, council.
There it is.
There we go.
Test. Mayor, council, it gives me great privilege and to introduce you to some of our newest staff members that we brought into the City of Lakeport family. We've been really blessed with some incredibly great people that have come on board with us that are truly adding to the abilities of your existing staff to provide better services to the citizens of Lakeport. The first one that I'd like to introduce is Brianna Hoagland. She is our pool manager. Brianna.
Come on up, Brianna.
I totally wouldn't have to do that.
Oh, did you? Where's the next see him?
Yeah, come on up, sir, make us see it. So we want to put you on the spot.
You guys are going to get me in big trouble tomorrow. Brianna came in and stepped into a pretty tough situation. As we all know, the pool was not open last year. And when you have a service that's been closed for an entire year, you're really starting from ground zero again. And Brianna really stepped up to the plate. She was with the pool in years prior before closure. She started out as a pool assistant manager. Then came back this year, took the whole program over, got all the lifeguards certified, got the whole pool program put together, worked with Dan on a new accounting system for the pool, and she's done all this part-time. And so I would like to thank Brianna for all of her hard work.
Thank you. Welcome.
Is Gary with us? I don't see Gary. Some staff had some things they couldn't get out of. But the next one on the list is Gary Loblack. Gary is working as a mechanic for us. We take succession planning very seriously because we all know that when institutional knowledge leaves, then that always creates a hole in the gap. And a lot of things that we take for granted go with that person. And so when something comes up, then it's like, oh, well, Joe knew about that, but Joe ain't here no more. So being proactive in that manner, we all know that our mechanic, Bill Brady, is going to be retiring within the next year or two. And Bill has made that statement. Bill is going to be hugely missed. Bill is is I believe, the longest term employee that we have working for us. And so when Bill goes, there goes a huge amount of institutional knowledge. So we brought Gary in to start working with Bill. Bill's taking him under his wing and is showing him all of the little nuances that no one else knows about but Bill. So that when Bill leaves, Gary's going to be in a position to know all of those things and be able just to hopefully keep things clicking right along. And he has really taken the task to heart. He's doing great. We've taken on the PD as far as doing their service and maintenance again on the police cars now that he's on board. And so he's been a very welcome addition. The next one is Tom Sheffer. Tom? Tom's actually with the sewer and water construction crew. Tom has come in and joined us. He is a veteran from the U.S. Air Force. Is that right? He did. I was sweating that one. And he stepped in as a maintenance worker one. He started at ground level and he's going to be working his way up. But he did bring with him some knowledge of heavy construction and working in a governmental environment, which has been a big help. He understands rules, regulations, he understands filling out paperwork. Plus, he can and at the same time, jump in the ditch and get the pipe in or repair or whatever needs to be done. And Tom has been working hard. He's learned some new skills, and he's a great addition to our fine crew. Thanks, Tom. I'm going to go just a little bit out of order. I'm going to ask Stephen Edwards to come up. Stephen is with the Public Works Department. He's a new maintenance worker. Stephen actually has been with us for a year as a temporary employee. Well, not quite a year. Came to us from a construction background. Fit in like a glove. He's young. He's energetic. He's willing to learn. He's taking on new tasks and learn new skills that it just amazes me how fast young people that have that gift can pick things up. And so he's actually a paver now, knows how to work with a grinder, and operates dump trucks, backhoes, and a shovel. And so he's been a great addition, and we're really happy that he's with us. Thanks.
Turned out that he's not a Dodger fan. So he's a Giants fan, excellent.
That is 5 extra points. And I'm going to introduce you to John Banuelos. John? John's with our Parks Department, so that's kind of why I brought him up, try to get all the Public Works guys in, and John's in our Parks Department. He's our newest addition. John, in talking with John, had been trying to come to work for the city of Lakeport for quite a number of years, and had put in numerous applications. And on the particular day that we called him to tell him that we wanted to come in and have a real serious talk about joining our team, it just happened to be at exactly the perfect time. And John has joined Ron and our excellent park staff. I think that their product, mainly Library Park, speaks volumes, much more than what I could say about them. You just have to walk out the door and look. John is looking at long term. He's looking at being here as a lifer. He loves his job, and it shows in his work. And he is a great addition to our Parks Department. Thanks, John.
Yes.
And I think that is all of them. I'm going to turn it over to Kevin.
Thanks, Adam.
You're welcome.
Well, it's my pleasure to introduce you to our newest associate planner, Dan Chant, who's in the audience. He can come up as well.
Come on up, Dan.
Dan comes to us from over 10 years of planning experience for Grass Valley. Also, by the way, he's also worked for Port of Madera, the city of Capitola, and then also the county of Monterey as well, correct? Extensive experience in all the areas that we encounter on a daily basis. Lots of commercial design review experience, very experienced in residential subdivisions and parcel maps, and of course the dreaded sequence stuff as well. He's very well versed. He's stepped in right away. He's only been here for 4 days, and he's already been up at the counter assisting folks in handling questions and taking over projects. So I'm very lucky and happy to have Dan as a part of our team.
Welcome. Anyone further, Margaret?
I think that's it.
So, all right. Well, thank you.
We'll have some for a couple of meetings. probably.
Great. It's great to see new staff coming on board and rounding out those positions. And yeah, it's a testament to the good work that they've done, from parks to road maintenance to everything. That's really coming together. And now in planning too, which is going to be the new planning department, City of Lakeport. So and thanks, Kevin, for helping spearhead that as well. Well, we have some awards that were given out during our Employee Appreciation Day, but we would like to go ahead and recognize these 4 employees here this evening for their outstanding work. So I'm going to come to the podium and bring each one of them up and embarrass them. Well, one, I don't know if he can be embarrassed or not. All right, first, this gentleman has taken a leadership role in our volunteer program and regularly comes forward without being asked to assist others in their assignments. And that is why he has received the Volunteer of the Year Award for 2015. That's Mr. Carl Turos. Congratulations. See up here, we'll put a picture up yet. And you can face the crowd if you'd like, so it doesn't feel like next on our list, this employee has received an award because her team appreciates that she gives 100% and considers her department her personal responsibility. That is why she was awarded the City of Lakeport Peer Award by her fellow peers, and that's Miss Martha Huerta. They all did actually get certificates of the employee appreciation. We're not sliding. Congratulations, Martha.
Thank you.
Next, this young lady also is receiving a peer award because her peers appreciated her positive suggestions and problems, saying she provides new, practical, and constructive alternatives. And congratulations to Rebecca Dolby. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, last but certainly not least, this young man, maybe a little older, is being recognized because he has an excellent attitude, does not hesitate to get things done. The administration has noticed a change in atmosphere under this gentleman's leadership, and I can attest too that our Public Works Department would be at a loss without his expertise, his knowledge, and just flat out be able to get things done. And that's why he's received the City of Lakeport Management Award, and that's Mr. Jim Kennedy. Congratulations, Jimbo. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. And there, and right there, if anybody wants to get a picture, just don't touch me anywhere I'm not supposed to. All right. Congratulations, you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
We have awesome staff.
While we're giving out awards, we have a very fancy award here, and I'm going to read through, I guess I'll do this at the podium as well, and give this award. And this will be going to our finance director, Mr. Dan Buffalo.
Ooh, Dan.
The Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting has been awarded to the City of Lakeport by the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada, also known as the GFOA, for its comprehensive annual financial report. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting, financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government and its management. An award of financial reporting achievement has been awarded to the individual department or agency designated by the government as primarily responsible for preparing the award-winning capper. This is presented to Mr. Dan Buffalo, Finance Director. Congratulations, Dan, again, for the wonderful work you do.
Thank you.
Okay, we are moving on to council business. Item number A from our Public Works Superintendent, and this is regarding the sandball courts.
We're getting workout today.
Yes, seriously. Yeah, and actually, I was kind of involved with this, with the Park and Rec Committee. So, Mr. Mayor, Council, staff's bringing before you a request to change the West Side Park Phase 2 section from a BMX track and skate park to sand courts and BMX pump track. And the maps that you were provided show you the layout of what we were talking about, what is being requested. At the back of Phase 2, which is the newest baseball soccer fields that the West Side Park has installed. We have, the last addition that went in there was the horseshoe pits. And so what is being proposed is to the southwest, adjacent to the parking lot, is the Beach Oasis sand courts. And there, as you can see in the picture you were provided, there's 3 courts with an area in between for spectators. There is a staging area and a cleaning area. And then the BMX pump track, if and when that ever gets built, as far as I know, right at this point, we don't have anyone online to construct that. We'll go back over in the same area as the BMX course was originally proposed. The horseshoe pits have taken up a fairly large portion of that already, so the portion that's left is shown on your map and it's marked as BMX course. This proposal was brought to the Park and Rec Commission. It was brought to the West Side Park Committee first. Dennis came with the applicants to talk to the Park and Rec Commission. They gave a very nice presentation. Park and Rec Commission voted unanimously to approve their concept and change to the master plan. And at that time, requested staff to bring that to council for council's consensus and approval that we go ahead and move forward with converting it over to the Beach Oasis courts. Sorry, I forgot your name. Adam just came, that can give you a little bit better explanation on exactly what sand courts involved is. It's not volleyball, it's a little bit different sport. It seems to be catching on very quickly. The course will be open, of course, to the public like all of West Side Park, there is no fence around it. There's no one that's restricted from playing there. These courts will be available to everybody, including themselves for events that they would be putting on themselves. And so unless staff has some, or council has some questions of staff, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Adam and Dennis and let them give you a little brief explanation on exactly what that sport is.
Any questions for Doug?
Just one. What's the BMX pump track?
It's a smaller. Yeah, and that is.
Yeah, Dennis
Oh, okay.
might be able to explain a little bit better.
It's a much smaller version. Usually it's not as big as aerials. It's a little more.
And I believe that it's not set per se as a BMX racetrack.
Correct.
It is more of a place where they can practice for BMX racing. Gives them some humps and bumps and that type of thing, but it's not really set up as a racetrack where they would have actual BMX races on it.
Got it.
You can do a lot of laps.
Yeah, well, laps. Sore legs.
Update on it.
Thanks, Doug. Adam, yeah, come on up.
Adam, do this.
Good evening, I'm Dennis Rollins, I think most of you know me, and this is Adam Newell. Adam is a local businessman in town, some of you may know him, he said he knows about half of you anyway. I'm going to just give you a couple quick things on background, and then Adam can better answer your questions about really what beach volleyball and Sand Court Oasis is all about. As was said, Jonathan Thorne and Adam came to the park. First they came to Margaret, she directed them to the park committee. We started meeting with them in April and just approved this in the 1st of July, I think it was. After several meetings, several design changes, a meeting with the city engineer, and got to the point where we thought this was a good idea. We are proposing that they have like 6 months from the time they have council approval, that they would have the opportunity to provide some documentation from school and others that this actually is a court that would be used, that they would have a chance to meet with city staff to discuss what needs to be done to plans and documentation-wise to get it ready to go. They'd have a chance to get those plans together, they'd have a chance to obtain funding, and provide some sort of a construction schedule and get back to us in 6 months and see if this is going to go. These guys are saying that they'll raise the funds to build this. The committee supported this for a few reasons. For a long time, several people on the committee have thought that the best location for a skate park was not at the West Side Park, and we've spoken to Margaret about that and some other people. We are looking around for where it might be another place, but it doesn't seem like, it seems like the skate park should be more in town versus out in the park. Also, there's been no real sustained effort by anybody in the skate park community to come forward and say, hey, we'd really like to help build this. The area for the BMX track probably wasn't large enough for a BMX track before we put in the horseshoe area. To have a real full-blown BMX track, we worked quite a bit with Jeff from Main Street Bicycles, and it just wasn't really a big enough facility to have a competitive track. So the pump track was a good option. Jeff is actually the one that brought that as a suggestion, and he's worked, after this approval, if we know that's what's going to happen, he's going to work with some designers to work out a course. A pump track is like a single track lane with rises, dips, jumps, those kind of things, and it is more for practice, it's more for working on your balance and your skills, and as Jeff said, it's to have fun. So, and pump track would have lower cost and lower maintenance than a BMX track would anyway. So those are the reasons that we were supporting this, and so I'll let Adam tell you a bit about what beach handball is all about, and other things that the course would be used for.
Well, first off, we want to use it for our sport, which is beach handball. It is it's a European sport. It's just not catching on in the United States. It is part of the Pan American Olympics. So like Brazil and other countries participate in it. It's like soccer is. There's 2 goals on each end, and there's about 4 people on each side. And instead of kicking the ball around, you have your hand, which is like a rubber ball, But the main purpose of these courts was for the community. We wanted to use it for beach volleyball, beach soccer, and any other beach activities that the community could use it for. We wanted to put it into schools so that way they could bring the teams out there use it for calisthenic training and, just a multi-purpose, beach spot. When kids playing sandcastles, there's a good spot for it, There's going to be 3 of them, so that way if somebody's here, somebody's going to be there, and everybody will be able to use it and have fun with it.
Is the beach handball, is it similar to basically like water polo, except on
It's
sand?
like polo, hockey, soccer, like all those mixed together. We had a whole slideshow and a really nice presentation for you, but Mark's not here and he has our flashbacks. Unfortunately.
It's non-contact, correct?
Yeah, it's no contact, it's a fair play sport, so that way all ages, all shapes, all sizes, everyone can play it. You can make up teams of men and women, you can make up teams of families, family on family, it's all fun, and that way everybody can actually score, have fun, and enjoy a good day out in the sun.
And of course, you plan to do some tournaments out there too?
Yes, we just got done in Gulf Shores, Alabama. We went to the American Open Beach Handball Classic. We played with Dubai, San Andreas, Colombia, the American men and women's national teams. And here at the end of August, I have to go down to LA to play in it's just the Southern California tournament. There's going to be teams from Phoenix, San Diego, LA, New York, Chicago, up here, San Francisco. We're going down there, and the standards that we're building this on is going to be the Pan American Olympic standards. So we would be able to hold big tournaments for our sport, as well as hold other tournaments for beach volleyball and beach soccer. So I'm not mainly focusing it on my sport, but it's going to be built around that sport, and we can use it for everything else as well.
Any further questions for Dennis Randall?
I just wanted to say, I know, advocated several times to the West Side Park meetings, him and Jonathan. The one thing that I liked was that you said, you will work with the Kelseyville School and
Yes.
Clear Lake School to try and
100%.
develop some programs, get them, maybe get some teams out there.
There's a lot of, I'm sorry to interrupt, there's a lot down in Marin. Our coach, Dee, I can't pronounce it, it's a Russian last name.
Big novel stuff.
Yeah. But she is in process of working with high schools and grade schools down in Marin to start getting actual teams of kids. So that's what we're going to try to do up here as well, so that we can have make it a whole new thing. As one major kicker too, this is going to be the first permanent beach courts that there is in the United States for the sport. So that will give this town something as well on top of that.
Excellent. Well, thank you, John.
So does this involve running and catching and throwing on the run?
Yes, and diving and also, and it's just all on the sand. The courts are the size of a basketball court, including the substitution area. So that's how big the sand courts are. There's going to be 3 of them. And they're all sectioned off with lines and everything. It's, the safety will be there, but there's a lot of activity.
And the ball is of what?
It's like a soft rubber. Remember back whenever we used to be able to play dodgeball, was ones that stung. Well, imagine those if you held it in your hand, but with a softer context where you could squeeze it. It still hurts if you get hit in the face with it, but it won't leave a mark.
It's not a Nerf ball, but it's...
No, it's an inflatable rubber ball. There's 3 different sizes, one for children, one for women, and one for men. So the children's ball is like this big, women's, and then the men's is like this big, just enough to be able to hold it in your hand and get a good grip with it.
How many people on a team?
There's 8 people on a team, 4 people on the court at a time. And you usually have offense, defense. So if offense comes down and scores, your defense is ready. So your offense comes straight off and your defense goes right on.
Wow.
So the goals, usually they're 2 5-minute halves. The goals usually score a goal every 15, 20 seconds. Very, very fast paced, really energetic. It's just a fun sport to watch in general. And just by sitting and watching, you can really catch on to play it. It's not hard. The rules are maybe 15, 16 different rules. Yeah. Me and Jonathan are also certified by the American Team Sports community for refereeing as well as coaching for our sports. So we do have that access to be able to put into schools and try to start something better.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Okay, one more thing. Just, the reason I asked him to tell you how many people there are on a team is because I've seen a video of this. I told me this is the size of a basketball court, but there's just 4 people on a team out there running around all over the place. There is a lot of movement going on. It's really quite energetic.
First time playing it through a couple. So you think you're in shape, but you gotta run up to that standpoint.
Gosh, Carl, you're cool there, dude.
One quick aside while I'm here, I think it sort of relates to this. Margaret might have given you information on the trail grant. Did you send that off
Yeah.
to them? Okay. Yeah. Richard,
Go ahead.
I mentioned when I was here last time on public input that we were going to try to submit this trail application. So I think Margaret's going to be getting together with you all and bring something to you to get your permission to do this. But Richard and I have already started meeting on this, and he's had several conversations with the staff person in Sacramento that handles the grant. And we're looking at maybe $600,000 grant that would get the trail completed there, the parking lot, which the parking lot will be a trailhead parking lot. Keep that in mind when you talk about that.
Part of the requirements.
Yes, the trailhead parking lot. And the curb gutter and sidewalk that would go along there would extend and some benches and some lighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're hoping to have this back to you on the second meeting the August 21st meeting, or 18th meeting, for a resolution for application for that.
Part of that trail goes through the area that we're on your map there. Part of the trail goes through there.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks, Ed.
Would anyone from the public like to speak on this item? All right, seeing none, I'll bring it back to council for any. Sorry about that, come on up. And please state your name for the record.
My name's Robert. I recently moved here late last year. I've been very impressed by this council. The way you operate as a city is very impressive. Staff is tremendous. And people like this young man. Man, it's been a while since I've seen somebody on the ball like that. It's a great game. Physically active activities for our youth are very important. It can't be boring. We won't play them. Once again, though, I can't have my dog out there to chase that ball. The skate park layout is better. I've been involved with several skate park setups, and I like the way you're doing this track. The planning in town is tremendous. Cooperation between the different agencies seem to be perfect. I like living here. Okay. And hope that things can proceed well in the town, and you guys recognize people like that young man a lot. An article in the paper would be nice. Nothing. Just wanted to say this is great living here. Thank you. Looking forward to more Main Street being completed. And have a good evening.
Thank you very much for the kind words. And as luck would have it, there are a couple of our local news agencies that are in-house tonight. Anyone else from the public on this item? All right, seeing none, I will now bring it back to council for action.
I'll move to change the West Side Park Phase 2 plan section from a BMX track and a skate park to sand courts and a BMX pump track.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Anything further from council? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you again, Doug, Dennis, and Adam. All right, next on council business, under item B from our finance director, this is our Proposition 218 resolution. Mr. Buffalo,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council.
the award-winning Mr. Buffalo.
The multi.
I want to put that on my signature line.
You gotta get that on the business card there.
Before you is a request to begin a Proposition 218 process for the establishment of solid waste disposal rates. As you may recall, the council approved a new contract with the franchise solid waste hauler Lakeport Disposal a few weeks back. Part of that process was, and I'll invite the council to go through a validation, or not validation, the 218 process to establish the initial rates as part of the contract, and then give us the legal flexibility to adjust those rates if needed down the road for the next 5 years. The rates for you here are identical to what's already being charged by Lakeport Disposal, except for the addition of 1% admin cost that we negotiated with the company that was being included into the rate schedule. So the transition from billing to the city required at least some compensation from the franchise trash hauler to do that, even though the general fund is still covering much of the administrative cost to do this. We were able to negotiate that part. So aside from that, the rates are identical to as they are today. And what the 218 again allows us to do is to adjust the rates both based on CPI and the tipping fee that is passed down by the county. So this is simply a request to start the process. We're also asking that the council establish a public hearing date of September 15th, during which time, from now until then, we will be receiving or expect to receive protests, if any, from the community or from the ratepayers regarding the establishment of these rates. With that, are there any questions about what's being requested or Tuesday itself for the rates?
Any questions for Dan?
So you're saying that these rates were the same ones we discussed, but they're higher than what they were before?
They're 1% higher to account for the administrative pass-through that we negotiated with
Well, and one of the reasons too is we're now taking on all the commercial billing
Right.
that we didn't do before.
They're part of the contract that the council approved. Now we're going through the
So are you anticipating a huge outcry with this 1% increase?
couple cents. You never know with these things, I guess. It's not a significant amount on the individual account, in the neighborhood of 2 to 3 cents, we estimate. Nonetheless.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, thanks, Dan. Anyone from the public wish to speak about this item? All right, seeing none, I'll bring it back to council for further discussion and or action.
So we have two separate resolutions.
Correct. Any other further questions from staff? Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution declaring the city council's intention to adopt increased solid waste collection charges, setting a public hearing for September 15th, 2015, and directing staff to provide notice pursuant to Proposition 218. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Anything further? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
I'll make a second motion to adopt the resolution adopting guidelines for the submission and tabulation of protests in connection with the rate hearings under Proposition 218. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Next item on our list, item C, from our city manager, is the chalk wall.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, as most of you know, because I think at least 4 of you attended last year, the Regional Economic Development Committee held the first annual leadership summit over at Marymount College. This year, the summit's going to be at Marymount again. It's going to be on Friday, October 9th. As a lead-in to the 2014 summit, a chalkboard was painted on the south side of the building at 120 North Main Street. This year, the committee is asking of the City Council's permission to use the north side of City Hall, the wall over here, facing the city parking lot at 3rd and Park Street. The committee plans to paint the wall with a black chalkboard paint, like we did on that other wall there, and stenciling for anyone to respond to the question out of Lake County because, and I'm not sure if that's going to be the same exact words, but it's going to be something regional anyway on that. And the wall then will be painted back to its original white state after time period, probably after the summit. The committee also commits to monitoring the postings on the wall. Last year, there were some inappropriate graphic art pasted on there. And so the committee was really good about it. As soon as they saw something, they tried to take that down.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
I don't think so, but anyway, and the city, as far as also the city of Lakeport, through LEAD Act, we've been trying to, this kind of ties in with some of the things we've been trying to do, bringing more of the arts into Lakeport, and because we believe that, arts creates a sense of place for the community, and all different arts, with the Soap Free Theater and general public arts. And one of the comments that I meant to put in the staff report I did, and it was a post by J.H. Dick, Senior Director of the State and Local Government Affairs at Americans for the Arts. And that, for example, did you know that according to the Arts and Economic Prosperity number 4 study, that nonprofit arts are a $135 billion industry that supports over 4 million full-time equivalent jobs. Furthermore, the nonprofit arts contribute to $22 billion in tax revenue, of which $6.7 billion is collected at the local level. So given that most local governments that the American for the Arts has studied appropriate less than they receive in tax revenue, and the arts are a wonderful investment. So the GDP, gross domestic product, this year's report found that the arts and cultural sector represented 4.32% of the GDP, a higher percentage than tourism, transportation, and construction. So it's kind of, it is a huge economic development tool for the community and for the community's sense of place. So even though this is more of a part of the regional economic development group doing this, it also supports what LEAD Act has been trying to do to bring more arts, which is 37 City Hall, and we still are working on a mosaic mural for where the chalk wall was last year. So we'll be working with that owner and see if they would like to do that there. So with that, I do know there has been some concern, and I think maybe we need to put some, we call them pilots, polars, to leave a space for people, that people can ride on the wall, because it is a driveway, around that parking lot there. So we try to do what we can to make it safe for someone that's there painting on the wall, putting their input on the wall, and not leave it at traffic that's in the parking lot going around. So, any questions?
No, I just like to say, I know there was some, negative things done, and there was even a few negative comments, but it was probably 30-1 positive last year on that, at least from what I heard. And you're always going to, no matter what you try to do in a positive public sense, where something's out there like that, there's always going to be something going on. So.
And the committee doesn't intend to wipe off any negative comments made, about it. That's freedom of speech, but it's just more the graphics and some words that are, they're appropriate for children that we feel that we would monitor. But,
Anything further? So the concern, we do have a plan in place then for safety.
I will work with Public Works and PD and see what we think would, be better than just leaving it open and letting people.
Yeah, I had brought that up, that
pro
your
temp.
drive through there,
Yeah.
and I don't want someone to be standing there drawing and
Or bent down.
Especially if
where
someone's
they
if
can't
they're
see as well.
crouching down,
Squish.
kind of in the center, then that they could be a target.
Yeah, I thought, well, we could bring the wall up higher, but then, it's, smaller children
Yeah,
that would
want the
want to ride on
children
the
to-
wall, then they wouldn't be able to reach it, so it's kind of hard to bring it too high. So we want to let everybody have an opportunity to ride on there that can.
Great. Anyone from the public wish to speak on this matter? All right, seeing none, I'll bring it back to council for action.
I'll move to accept the proposed site for the chalkboard or move to accept the chalkboard at another city council suggested location.
Well, do you
Well,
want
we're
to?
gonna go with the original location.
Yeah, do you want to?
Yeah, so we'll go with the site discussed in here.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Margaret. Council Communications. Councilmember Turner?
Nothing to report.
Councilmember Parlett?
I'm good.
Councilmember Philman?
I went to the fire board last week, and this week, normally I would be at the board meeting for Main Street, but they moved that to tonight. Simultaneous.
Oh, really?
And they ran it over at the 1800 tonight.
Oh.
Different format. Other than that, that's it.
Pro Tem?
Last week, we had the LAFCO meeting, and Lakeport Sphere of Influence was on the agenda. It got continued. The county staff was unprepared, hadn't read it yet. So the meeting's going to be in September. Instead of it being in Clear Lake, it will be here. And Chambers is booked in the morning, so we're looking at a 1 o'clock meeting for that. And that's it.
Thank you. Also attended LAFCO with Pro Tem Matina, and there was also the week previous to that, the ribbon cutting for the Small Business Development Center, which is over next to the old T&Ts. And we had staff representatives from both Garamendi and Thompson's office there, and a lot of that ribbon cutting was substantial, because it's definitely going to be great for our local businesses to have access to free support, information and advice, which includes an 8-county consortium, so it even expands beyond Lake County. So happy to have that there, and I know they'll be able to do good things. The League Division meeting, Councilmember Turner and myself attended on Friday up in Trinidad, and as usual, a good program regarding vacation rentals. Yeah, vacation rentals. Yeah, and kind of the positive, negatives, and how they're raising money for cities, and some of the challenges being faced as well. And of course, I enjoyed beautiful weather in the 70s, so that was
nice.
that was very nice as well. And this weekend, Frank Goodmanson and Rochelle Damiata will be putting on the kids mud run that's going to happen at the old Natural High School just down the street. So look for that on Saturday, and that should be an entertaining event nonetheless. So a bunch of the kids have some good time and get a lot of exercise, and I think that's something that they will continue to look at, and it's part of the Road to Wellville group as well. So some more happening with that, and that's it for me. Margaret, anything?
Yeah, we had one of our quarterly regional economic development meetings, and we've kind of changed the format a little bit. We're going to focus, we'll do our general reports, but we're also going to focus on a certain economic development sector. And we did it on the arts this week, and we invited all the artists as much as we could reach out to around the county. And it was a very good meeting, very interesting. And basically, it's more to facilitate that group and how they can work together, and for the arts in Lake County. It was a very, very good meeting. So we appreciated that. I will be on vacation starting Thursday and back on the 4th of August. And I'll be sending out an email for the acting city manager on that. So I will be back. I'll be here all day on the 28th next week from today. I'll work that day. Feel free to contact me. Thanks.
David?
Nothing to report.
Chief?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Kevin?
Nothing to report.
Anything else, David?
We're good.
Dan?
I believe we're confirmed with the 2 council members for the finance committee next week, Wednesday at 1 p.m. That sound right, or?
Yeah, that sounds fine, except I just remembered that I have a Serve Safe meeting at the county courthouse or the health department from like 10 to 2, and I just realized that today when I saw my schedule. So we might not.
That's been a tough one to schedule.
Yeah.
Because that's the 29th, right?
29th, yes.
Yeah, and that's the only one they're doing, and I have to renew before. It's local.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah, I could come
Okay.
straight over. I mean,
Councilmember Stillman.
Yeah, whatever time.
Okay,
So that,
maybe pencil in 2:30 then?
yes.
Okay, I will do that. And yeah, just to update the council, we were attempting to restructure our PERS obligations. And the Plan A that we recommended completely fell out from underneath us thanks to a recent court decision about pension obligation bonds. So we're going kind of back to the drawing board, and our financial advisors have given us a few more other options that we'd like to present to the committee to see if we can still move forward with the plan that we know is going to benefit the city's budget as well as realize some cost savings. So that's what we're going to be talking about on the 29th at 2:30.
Can you send out a, once we know for sure, that's confirmed at 2:30?
well, it's just the four of us, so we all four confirm that.
And our financial advisors,
Yeah.
we
Oh,
always
that- yeah,
available.
I forgot
So
about that.
I will do that.
And I apologize
The board person.
Yeah, it
We
works.
definitely want to be able to serve safely.
it's only my 7th time I've taken it.
Yeah.
Anything else, Dan?
No.
Kelly?
No.
A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, our next meeting, which would have been August 4th, has been canceled because we are doing our National Night Out, and that will be at our new police station from 6 to 8 p.m. And of course, we'd love to see everybody there, and there'll be all kinds of activities. And I mean, most of you know us already, but pass the word along to those that aren't here. There'll be National Night on August 4th and no council meeting. If there's nothing else, this meeting is adjourned.